The Middle East has once again become a tinderbox, a region fraught with historical tensions and modern-day rivalries. With tensions between Iran and Israel reaching new heights, the stakes have never been higher. Recent declarations by Iran's Revolutionary Guard have sent shockwaves through the region and beyond, signaling a potential escalation that could have far-reaching consequences. They openly speak of preparations for a major strike against Israel, a move that could ignite a broader conflict. These threats, while not new, carry a chilling weight, especially given the current geopolitical climate. The language used is increasingly aggressive, reflecting Iran's growing confidence and its willingness to challenge the existing regional order. This rhetoric is not just for show, it is a clear indication of Iran's strategic intentions. Adding fuel to the fire are Iran's ballistic missile tests and the continued development of its nuclear program, both of which are seen as direct threats by its adversaries. These actions are seen by many in the West, particularly in Israel and the United States, as clear provocations that cannot be ignored. Iran, however, maintains that its nuclear ambitions are purely peaceful, aimed at energy production and medical research. They argue that their program is for energy purposes and medical research, not for weapons development. This narrative is a point of contention, as many remain skeptical of Iran's true intentions. Despite these claims, the specter of a nuclear-armed Iran looms large, casting a shadow over the entire region. It is a prospect that deeply worries Israel, which sees Iran as an existential threat that must be countered at all costs. The rhetoric coming from Tehran does little to assuage these fears. Instead, it amplifies the sense of impending danger. On the contrary, it only serves to reinforce the perception of Iran as a dangerous actor, intent on regional domination and the destruction of Israel. This perception is not just held by Israel but by many of its allies as well. The situation is further complicated by the complex web of alliances and rivalries that define the Middle East, making any potential conflict a multifaceted issue. Iran's support for groups like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza adds another layer of volatility, as these groups act as Iran's proxies in the region. These proxy forces act as extensions of Iranian influence, capable of igniting conflict and drawing Israel into a wider confrontation. The potential for escalation is ever present, making the need for diplomatic solutions more urgent than ever. The recent ceasefire in Lebanon, brokered after a period of intense fighting between Israel and Hezbollah, has done little to ease the underlying tensions. The conflict, which has deep historical roots, continues to simmer beneath the surface, threatening to erupt again at any moment. While the guns have fallen silent, for now, the fundamental issues remain unresolved. The ceasefire is fragile, and the people of Lebanon live in a state of uncertainty, unsure of what the future holds. The scars of war are visible everywhere, from the damaged buildings to the haunted eyes of the survivors. Iran, through its support of Hezbollah, has demonstrated its ability to disrupt the region and inflict significant damage on Israel. This proxy war has far-reaching implications, not just for the immediate parties involved, but for the entire Middle East. The balance of power in the region is delicate, and any shift can have catastrophic consequences. The election of Donald Trump as President of the United States has introduced a new element of uncertainty into this already volatile mix. His unpredictable foreign policy and aggressive stance towards Iran have added fuel to the fire, making an already complex situation even more precarious. Trump's campaign rhetoric was marked by harsh criticism of Iran and the nuclear deal negotiated by the Obama administration. He argued that the deal was too lenient and failed to address Iran's ballistic missile program and its support for militant groups in the region. He has repeatedly called the agreement the worst deal ever and promised to either renegotiate it or scrap it altogether. This stance has created a rift between the United States and its European allies, who remain committed to the deal and believe it is the best way to prevent Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Trump's tough talk has been met with defiance from Tehran. Iranian leaders have made it clear that they will not be intimidated and have vowed to continue their nuclear program if the United States withdraws from the deal. Iranian leaders have warned that they will not be bullied and have threatened to restart their nuclear program at full speed if the United States reneges on its commitments. This has raised fears of a new arms race in the Middle East with potentially devastating consequences for global security. The stage seems set for a major confrontation, one that could have far-reaching consequences for the entire Middle East. The region is already a tinderbox, and any spark could ignite a full-scale war that would draw in multiple countries and lead to widespread devastation. The Trump administration's decision to withdraw from the Iran nuclear deal in 2018 and reimpose sanctions has further exacerbated tensions. This move has been seen as a betrayal by Iran and has led to increased hostility between the two nations. The move was condemned by the other signatories to the deal: Britain, France, Germany, Russia, and China, who argued that it undermined the agreement and risked triggering a new nuclear arms race in the Middle East. The international community is now faced with the challenge of finding a way to de-escalate the situation and prevent a potential catastrophe. The reimposition of sanctions by the United States has had a crippling effect on the Iranian economy, leading to a significant downturn in various sectors. The sanctions have targeted Iran's oil exports, its financial sector, and key industries, effectively cutting off vital revenue streams and causing widespread economic instability. The intention behind these measures was to pressure Iran to come back to the negotiating table and agree to a more stringent nuclear deal, one that would address not only its nuclear ambitions, but also its regional activities. However, the sanctions have also caused widespread hardship among ordinary Iranians, leading to increased unemployment, inflation, and a general decline in the quality of life. Instead of bringing Iran to heel, the sanctions seem to have had the opposite effect, fostering a sense of defiance and nationalism among the Iranian populace and government. In response to the economic pressure, Iran has resumed some of its nuclear activities which had been previously curtailed under the 2015 nuclear agreement. This includes exceeding the limits set by the 2015 agreement on uranium enrichment, a move that has significantly heightened tensions. This has raised alarm bells in Western capitals and increased fears that Iran is moving closer to developing nuclear weapons capability, a scenario that many nations are keen to avoid. The International Atomic Energy Agency, the UN's nuclear watchdog, has confirmed that Iran is enriching uranium to higher levels than permitted under the nuclear deal, further complicating the situation. While Iran maintains that its actions are within the bounds of the agreement, the IAEA's reports have cast doubt on these claims, leading to increased scrutiny and diplomatic pressure. The escalating tensions between Iran and the United States have also raised concerns about the potential for miscalculation or an accidental slide into conflict, which could have devastating consequences for the region and beyond. The downing of a U.S. drone by Iran in 2019, an incident that brought the two nations to the brink of military confrontation, followed by U.S. airstrikes that were called off at the last minute, serves as a stark reminder of how quickly the situation could spiral out of control. As both sides continue to navigate this precarious landscape, the international community watches closely, hoping for a resolution that will prevent further escalation and promote stability in the region. To be continued in the next response due to character limit. In this segment, we delve into the complex dynamics between former President Donald Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Their relationship, marked by mutual admiration and strategic alignment, had significant implications for regional stability. Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital and the subsequent relocation of the U.S. Embassy were pivotal moments. These actions, while celebrated by some, were met with intense criticism and concern from others, fearing they would exacerbate tensions in the region. We will explore how these decisions influenced the geopolitical landscape and what it meant for the future of Middle Eastern diplomacy. In the intricate dance of geopolitics, nuclear capabilities often serve as both shield and sword. The language of deterrence, though fraught with peril, aims to maintain a delicate balance of power. Nations, by brandishing their nuclear arsenals, seek to dissuade adversaries from aggression, fostering an uneasy peace. Yet, the specter of miscalculation looms large, reminding us that the stakes are unimaginably high. Al-Aqsa Mosque, perched in the heart of Jerusalem, is more than a religious site. It is a symbol of enduring conflict and profound significance. The struggle over this sacred ground reverberates throughout the region, fueling broader tensions and clashes. Jerusalem, a city claimed by many, stands at the epicenter of a conflict that intertwines faith, identity, and politics, making peace a challenging endeavor. In the shadows of the Middle East, proxy wars unfold, with regional powers vying for influence through indirect confrontations. These wars, fought by proxies, carry the inherent risk of miscalculation, where local skirmishes can escalate into full-blown conflicts. The intricate web of alliances and enmities complicates efforts for resolution, often leaving the region teetering on the edge of broader warfare. As the geopolitical landscape shifts, so do the strategies of nations within the Middle East. Uncertain negotiations, often marred by mistrust and competing interests, shape the future of this volatile region. The path ahead is fraught with challenges, but also opportunities for those willing to navigate the complexities of diplomacy and power. The future remains unwritten, hinging on the choices made today.